Welcome to Astro Tarot, the part of the newsletter where we break down astrological movement and align it with tarot. Starting off the month of July, there is a beautiful full moon in Capricorn on the 3rd. So this is going to be highlighting our themes of work, discipline, and our work and home life balance. The moon can also feel a little bit repressed or reserved in the sign of its detriment, and we should see the new moon bringing us a lot more nurturing energy later in the month. The planet Mars will leave Leo and enter Virgo on the 10th of July. So this energy is going to be taking us from the Six of Wands and that accomplishment and that sort of leadership, and taking us into the Eight of Pentacles, where we're going to be working really hard on what we want, and practice makes perfect, going over those finer details, putting in the effort for what we want to see in the future. Mercury is the next day is going to hop over into Leo. So that's going to sort of lighten up and brighten the way that we communicate. We might feel a lot more creative as well. On the 17th of July, there will be a new moon, like I was talking about, new moon in Cancer, all about fresh starts, manifestations, this new beginnings. So there's going to be a beautiful night or day, depending on when the new moon is, to celebrate tarot, the goddess, the divine, and of course the moon. So looking to some tarot cards for the new moon in Cancer, we have the Chariot, of course, which is associated with Cancer. We also have the moon, which is associated with Pisces, but it is a depiction of the moon. So therefore, I love seeing it when we're talking about the moon. Then we also have the 2 to 4 of Cups, which fall under the Cancer astrological sign. So in particular, we're going to be seeing the 4 of Cups being used as the standout card for this astrological event. So in July as well, we're going to be having a retrograde, Mercury retrograde, but prior to that, we've already had Venus retrograde in Leo as well. So expect a lot of throwbacks from the past. So we're going to be experiencing a lot of 6 of Cups energy, but there will be this slight defensive energy. I believe that the 7 of Wands is going to come in and play a little bit with that 6 of Cups energy. You'll require a lot of motivation to go after what you need because you're in a review process, so you're going to need a lot more effort to go after what you need. But also we may require our defenses to be up, because a lot of people are going to have not only people from the past coming back, but because it's a Venus retrograde, you definitely, I think, going to have lovers come back as well. Depending on where the Venus retrograde is hitting your chart is going to change a lot of things there. But yeah, a lot of things from the past, the lessons that we're learning, especially in love, because we've got Venus and Mercury both retrograde together. So that is the month of July. Some real bright creativity, finding that balance between your work and home life will probably be highlighted throughout most of the month, especially culminating on that new moon in Cancer in the middle of the month. It's sort of just a follow-on from what you've been releasing from the full moon that we have at the start of the month on the 3rd. So lots of energy, lots of things happening. I haven't even covered the aspects. So this is the basics of what's going to be going and happening for this month, and we will continue on with the newsletter.
So today we're looking at the Light Seers Tarot by Chris-Anne. This is my first time ever getting my hands on it as well and giving it a shuffle and having a read with it. So I did find that the cards were a little hard to, they won't fly out of the deck unless this is a pretty new deck. So unless you've seasoned your cards, I guess they probably won't fly out. So this is probably best to just shuffle, overhand shuffle, and then pull the cards from the top of the deck. So these are the questions that I'm asking. So who are you? The essence of the deck. Why do you find people? How do you speak? How do you like to speak? How should people listen to you speak? Where will you lead people? And a parting message. The parting message may be a bit more personal for me today rather than the collective. But the idea behind this reading was to get a collective deck interview spread, just to see in general what the deck likes to offer people and what kind of energy it holds. So you can see here I'm now pulling some cards. We've got first of all the King of Swords, then we have the Five of Swords, then there is the Page of Cups. Then we have the Two of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the last card is the Ten of Swords in reverse. So let's get started with the interpretations. First of all, we've got the King of Swords, and you can see a lot of the air element is symbolized here through not only the animals, but sort of his environment as well. And this is just going to be speaking about the deck being very logical, intellectual, and having very grounded answers from the mind. So helping the mind out a lot. There is quite a few swords cards, so that is another reason. So we've got the Five of Swords, another sword card. Why do you find people? I see this as a big change of perspective, as in the deck is going to come in and tell you how to change things that you are not happy with, especially of the mind and the way we're thinking. It wants to speak to us through the Page of Cups, a messenger that just exudes love and compassion and empathy, maybe a little bit ditzy sometimes. How should people listen to the deck speaking? The Two of Wands. It wants you to take everything on board and think about it in a global perspective and how you can then take that knowledge to expand yourself. Where will you lead people? With the Five of Wands, I see this as conflict resolution. So if you're in conflict, you usually turn to your tarot deck and you're trying to find an answer. I find that these cards indicate that there will be endings and there'll be changes in the way that you're thinking and the way that you act, and that it comes from the deck speaks from a very intellectual, logical place, but it helps you achieve your goals.